Okay, more difficult. I'll tell you the number one reason why the coefficient on the cubic term is 3. So it's going to be plus or minus the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, 6. Divide by, all the prior problems it was 1, now it's 3. So what do you get? 1 and 3. So what do you get? Plus or minus 1, 2, 3, 6. Now I got to divide the top numbers by 3. So you get 1/3. You would get 2/3. You get 3 over 3, which is 1. I'm not going to put that down again. And 6 divided by 3, which is 2. I'm not going to put that one down again. How many counts do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. What am I going to do? I am going to search for an easy one. So I got to be honest with you, the worst one I could probably attack at this point now are the fractions. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just saying I'm looking for easy. All right? And if I'm looking for easy, I am going to start with the number 1. All right? Let's see what you get. And I'm hoping for a 0. So I'm going to say x is 1. What do you get? 3 plus 4 minus 13 plus 6. And that gives you 0. Bingo. We got something here. What I get? X minus 1 is a factor. Now someone says, I wonder what remains. It must be 3x squared. I do not know this. I don't know it, but I do know the end. It's going to be minus 6. And that, of course, equal to 0. I think I can figure out the b, just by equating coefficients, by the way. So let me get my eraser out, get rid of some of the distractions. And get rid of this thing over here. And I'm going to try to get the b. How would I do that? Equating coefficients. So what would you get? Well, I'm going to do the squares first. So minus 3x squared. Let's see, plus bx squared would have to equal 4. Now what do I mean by that? Minus 3 plus b would have to equal 4. So what's the b going to be equal to? B is going to be 7. But you know, I'm a doubting Thomas, so I want to make sure that everything works out. I want to see if the x term is minus 13x. So minus 13x, and I'm looking for the x's here. So it's going to be, let's see, x times minus 6, so minus 6x, and then minus bx. And I said b is 7, right? So minus 6 minus 7 is going to be minus 13. It works beautifully. So what's b? B is 7. Let me get my eraser out. I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to write that down. Plus 7. Now if you want, you can check it. And sometimes it barely pays to check things, especially if it's going to be a long road to the end. But I think I'm thinking I'll give this a shot. All right? So what do you have here? X minus 1. What's nice about 3x squared is only one choice for it. And the 6, I'm going to say 3 and 2. So the 3 would have to go here. Couldn't go with the 3 and the other factor because then it would have been a common factor. And 2 goes here. And I'm going to say plus minus. That gives me 3x squared. 9 minus 2 is 7x. Works like a charm, and this equals 0. So now I know the roots. What are the roots going to be? Well, they're kind of simple. 1 minus 3. And 3x minus 2 becomes 0 when x is 2/3. Are they in the list? 1's in the list, minus 3's in the list, and 2/3 in the list. I got them all. All right, let's go to the key, and we're going to look at it. The list of rational, or the counted rational roots. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1/3 and 2/3. Yep. Did I find the other, I'm sorry, did I test some of them out? I believe we said f of 1 was 0. Did I do that? Yep. I knew the factor was x minus 1. Although I didn't do a long division, did I get 3x squared plus 7x minus 6? I did. Was I able to factor it out to get the roots? I did. Am I agreeing with the roots? 1 minus 3 and 2/3. Let's go back over here, and it's a lot of scrolling. 1, 2/3 minus 3. Okay, graphing it, not so bad to do. I do have the graph, and certainly, you get tired up in numbers, but 1 is a root. Minus 3 is a root. Okay, what else is root 2/3? This is 2/3 here. Let's see, what's the y-intercept? It's 6. That's right here. What do I know about this guy? If I do my simple sign analysis, and by the way, you may know what sign analysis is going to be performed on this thing over here. Like for example, if you took a test point, x equals 4, you get plus, 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 which means it's plus. There's a test point between -3 and 2/3, and that's the y-intercept. So I know it's something like this over here. Right, below -3, like if you chose, like, I don't know, test point, x equals minus, let's say 10, what do you get? Negative times a negative times a negative. It's negative overall. In between here, if you take a test point, I don't know, what number you get there? It's 2/3, which is 0.66, repeat it, and then there's a 1 here. What's a good choice between there? I'm going to say 0.7, right? If you were to take your time to test that out, what you'd find is, well, let's see, you get negative, positive, positive, which overall means it's negative, certainly indicating that behavior over there. All right? So I'm going to say problem's over. Not much else I can say about that. However, you may be reading these things and see something I don't see. And if you do see something that I don't see, reach out to me. My email address is Bannon, B as in boy, the at symbol, NNON.us. Thank you for paying attention, though.